Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to Bible in a Year with Lovie. We are on day 181. We're going to read Job 17, 18, and 19. Then we're going to flip over to Acts chapter 10. I think I've figured out that Fridays are not going to be days that I record. I'm just like, Friday is my last day of my work week. I get off just early enough that I can go take care of a few things before they close. So yeah, I think I'm learning Fridays. I probably won't be posting on Fridays, but all the other days of the week, I got y'all. So I just woke up. I'm reading I'm just now on my first cup of coffee. So y'all bear with me this morning, okay? We're reading the Life Application Study Bible, 3rd edition, New Living Translation, for anybody who is new and wants to follow along. We're doing quite well, I believe. Look how much of the Bible we've read already in the Old Testament. Yeah. We're doing pretty good. Anyways, with that said, I got my dogs outside. They're so silly sometimes. Anyways, squirrel. Let's get into the word. Job chapter 17. Let's dive right in. This is Job continuing to defend his innocence. My spirit is crushed, and my life is nearly snuffed out. The grave is ready to receive me. I'm surrounded by mockers. I watch how bitterly they taunt me. You must defend my innocence, O God, since no one else will stand up for me. You have closed their minds to understanding, but do not let them triumph. They betray their friends for their own advantage, so let their children faint with hunger. God has made a mockery of me among the people. They spit in my face. My eyes are swollen with weeping, and I am but a shadow of my former self. The virtuous are horrified when they see me. The innocent rise up against me, the ungodly. Excuse me. The righteous keep moving forward, and those with clean hands become stronger and stronger. As for all of you, come back with a better argument, though I still won't find a wise man among you. My days are over. My hopes have disappeared. My heart's desires are broken. These men say that night is day. They claim that the darkness is light. What if I go to the grave and make my bed in darkness? What if I call the grave my father and the maggot my mother or sister or my sister? Where then is my hope? Can anyone find it? No, my hope will go down with me to the grave. We will rest together in the dust. Chapter 18. Bildad's second response to Job. Then Bildad the Shuhite replied, How long before you stop talking? Speak sense if you want us to answer. Do you think we are mere animals? Do you think we're stupid? You may tear out your hair in anger, but will that destroy the earth? Will it make rocks tremble? Surely the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. The sparks of their fire will not glow. The light of their tent will grow dark. The lamp hanging above them will be quenched. The confident stride of the wicked will be shortened. Their own schemes will be their downfall. The wicked walk into a net. They fall into a pit. A trap grabs them by the heel. A snare holds them tight. A noose lies hidden on the ground. A rope is stretched out across their path. Terrors surround the wicked and terrors surround the wicked and trouble them at every step. Hunger depletes their strength, and calamity waits for them to stumble. Disease eats their skin. Death devours their limbs. They are torn from the security of their homes and are brought down to the king of terrors. The homes of the wicked will burn down. Burning sulfur rains on their houses. Their roots will dry up and their branches will wither. All memory of their existence will fade from the earth. No one will remember their names. They will be thrust from light into darkness, driven from the world. They will have neither children nor grandchildren, nor any survivor in the place where they lived. People in the west are appalled at their fate. People in the east are horrified. They will say, "This was the home of a wicked person, the place of one who rejected God." Chapter 19. Then Job spoke again. "How long will you torture me? How long will you try to crush me with your words? You've already insulted me 10 times. You should be ashamed for treating me so badly. Even if I have sinned, that is my concern, not yours. You think you're better than I am, using my humiliation as evidence of my sin? But it is God who has wronged me, capturing me in his net. I cry out help, but no one answers me. I protest, but there is no justice." Wait, hold on. Let me just, okay. I speak when, okay. Anyways. He says, "You've already insulted me 10 times. You should be ashamed of treating me so badly. And even if I have sinned, that is my concern, not yours. You think you're better than I am, using my humiliation as evidence of my sin." Okay. Have you ever met somebody who's like holier than thou? Who like we all, a lot of people get turned away from Christ by people who do this exact same thing right here. You know, rather than walking and loving like Christ, they crush people with their words, which is torture to someone who's going through something internally. Like, you don't know the other side of this. You really can't tell me about me. You know, like, it's really not your concern. If I have sinned, even if I have sinned, it's not your concern. It's not your place to tell me about myself. It's not for you to think you're better than I am and using my humiliation or my situation as evidence that I've done something wrong. And I've had this happen personally, and that's the reason I can speak on this. You know, when I was first in my walk, when I first started my walk with Christ, you know, God was still breaking things off of me. I wasn't all the way there yet. I was all the way in with Christ, but everything hadn't been. I was still smoking cigarettes. You know, I still had a boyfriend. You know, I hadn't stopped having boyfriends yet. And amongst other things, you know. And God, you know, was already working on me. So he was gradually breaking things off for me. The first thing he broke for me was a meth addiction. Praise God, right? Meth, marijuana. He took that from me. And then he was working out other things in my life. Okay. So there were still people who, because they were further in their walk. And this is not how a true Christian operates. I just want you to know. Someone who is truly walking with Christ is not going to be crushing you with their words. They're not going to be insulting you or shaming you or treating you badly. They're not. They're not going to act like they're better than you are. Well, God took that away from me a long time ago. Or, well, God told me not to do that. Okay, God told you not to do that, but He hasn't told me not to do that yet. So, in fact, when I first started my walk, I still was practicing witchcraft. I had tarot cards. I had like a portable altar. I didn't understand yet. I hadn't read that part in the Bible yet. And until I read that part in the Bible, I couldn't have an understanding. But God had delivered me from other things already. You know what I'm saying? I knew my walk was genuine. I just didn't know the things that had to be broken off of me. But I didn't need somebody up in my face telling me, well, you need to change this. You need to change that. You da. Well, God took that away from me, so you don't need to do it. Well, God didn't take that from me yet. When He's ready, in His perfect time, He will do these things. You know, I just quit totally smoking and vaping and all that like 2 months ago. Like all the way. Like don't touch none of it. Okay? I've been walking, like my walk has been pure. I've been walking with Christ since December. I've been set free from like my addictions and really hearing the voice of God since December of 2022. Okay. So along my journey, there were things that God had to break off of me in His perfect timing. He had to break nicotine off of me in His timing. So it doesn't matter that He delivered me from meth instantly overnight, and it took almost 3 years for me to quit smoking. It doesn't matter. It wasn't about my time. I tried to quit on my own strength several times, and it just wasn't working. But when God decided it was time, it was like I just quit smoking one day. I didn't even think about it anymore. It just, I just didn't. I don't know what happened. I mean, but God, right? Because it's in His time, not in ours. So when you run into somebody who is treating you the way, like Job's friends are condemning him, like they're telling him he's a wicked man. He had to have done something wrong. Like, we're not stupid. They're pretty much telling him that what he's going through is because he had to have sinned in some kind of way, and if he wants to be right, he has to get right. He had to have done something wrong. But the thing is, you don't know how God is testing somebody else. Like, those people, they don't have any right to tell you what you're doing wrong, because you may not be doing anything wrong. God just might be allowing Satan to test you in that time. I go through struggles every single day. Like there's something that's going to happen. When I first moved here, the struggle was real. And it wasn't because I did anything wrong. It's that God wanted to test my faith. She going to stand strong with me, or is she going to throw in the towel? She going to go back to doing those things of the old, or is, you know what I'm saying? She going to go get it how she lived like she used to? She going to go back gangster like she used to? Or is she going to stay the course with me? And I stayed the course and everything worked out. Once again, I just want to remind y'all, be mindful of who you have around you. Everybody ain't your friend. There are a lot of false prophets out there. There's a lot of Pharisees, hypocrites. They still exist. Don't let them turn you away from God, and don't become like them. Don't be the kind of Christian that judges other people by their lifestyle choices or what they're going through. It's not your place to do that. You're supposed to love them where they're at just like Jesus does. Because it ain't on you to change somebody. Only God can change somebody. Only God. You can't change nobody. So just because God took something away from you, it doesn't make you better than the next person. Just because God, delivered me from a meth addiction and finally delivered me from a nicotine addiction, it doesn't make me any better than my brother who smoked cigarettes. It absolutely doesn't. So I'm not going to tell him, oh, you shouldn't be smoking. I'm going to love him anyway. I'm going to love him despite the fact that he smokes. I used to smoke too, be around people who build you up, not people who tear you down. And that's where I'm going to leave that. Anyways. Verse 7. I cry out help, but no one answers me. I protest, but there's no justice. God has blocked my way so I cannot move. He has plunged my path into darkness. He has stripped me of my honor and removed the crown from my head. He has demolished me on every side, and I am finished. He has uprooted my hope like a fallen tree. His fury burns against me. He counts me as an enemy. His troops advance. They build up roads to attack me. They camp all around my tent. My relatives stay far away, and my friends have turned against me. My family is gone, and my close friends have forgotten me. My servants and maids consider me a stranger. I'm like a foreigner to them. When I call my servant, he doesn't come. I have to plead with him. My breath is repulsive to my wife. I'm rejected by my own family. Even young children despise me. When I stand to speak, they turn their backs on me. My close friends detest me. Those I loved have turned against me. I've been reduced to skin and bones and have escaped death by the skin of my teeth. Have mercy on me, my friends. Have mercy, for the hand of God has struck me. Must you also persecute me like God does? Haven't you chewed me up enough? Oh, that my words could be recorded. Oh, that they could be inscribed on a monument, carved with an iron chisel and filled with lead, engraved forever in the rock. But as for me, I know that my Redeemer lives, and he will stand upon the earth at last. And after my body is decayed, yet in my body I will see God. I will see him for myself. Yes, I will see him with my own eyes. I'm overwhelmed at the thought. How dare you go on persecuting me, saying it's his own fault? You should fear punishment yourselves, for your attitude deserves punishment. Then you will know that there is indeed a judgment. And that's where we stop for today on Job. We'll pick back up tomorrow on Job chapter 20. Now let's flip over to Acts chapter 10. Y'all, I think I get my truck back today. Super excited. Praying that it is all the way right. I'm going to go test drive it here shortly. And y'all just be praying for me that my truck is good to go and that I can drive it. That I can get it back and I can have my own vehicle back again. Because I'm missing my people. The vehicle I'm borrowing, I'm blessed to have been able to borrow it. But man, there's nothing like having your own. And so I'm super excited to get my truck back. So y'all stand in prayer with me for that. Plus my truck's better on gas. All right, let's go. Acts chapter 10. In Caesarea, whatever. There lived a Roman army officer named Cornelius. This is Acts chapter 10. I don't know if I said that already. Who was a captain of the Italian regiment. He was a devout, God-fearing man, and as was everyone in his household. He gave generously to the poor and prayed regularly to God. One afternoon about 3 o'clock, he had a vision in which he saw an angel of God coming toward him. Cornelius, the angel said. Cornelius stared at him in terror. "What is it, sir?" he asked the angel, and the angel replied, "Your prayers and gifts to the poor have been received by God as an offering. Now send some men to Joppa and summon a man named Simon Peter. He's staying with Simon, a tanner who lives near the seashore." As soon as the angel was gone, Cornelius called 2 of his household servants and a devout soldier, one of his personal attendants. He told them what had happened and sent them off to Joppa. The next day, as Cornelius' messengers were nearing the town, Peter went up on the flat roof to pray. It was about noon, and he was hungry. But while a meal was being prepared, he fell into a trance. He saw the sky open, and something like a large sheet was let down by its 4 corners. In the sheet were all sorts of animals, reptiles and birds. Then a voice said to him, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat them." "No, Lord," Peter declared. "I've never eaten anything that our Jewish laws have declared impure or unclean." But the voice spoke again. "Do not call something unclean if God has made it clean." Bam! Let me repeat that. The voice spoke again. Do not call something unclean if God has made it clean. In other words, I was baptized. I accepted Christ into my heart. My sins have been washed away. The old me is dead. Therefore, I'm clean. So the new me lives. So don't call me unclean because God cleaned me up. He might still be in the process of cleaning me up, but it don't matter because I'm not unclean no more. The old me died in the water. The same vision was repeated 3 times. Then the sheet was suddenly pulled up to heaven. Peter was very perplexed. What could the vision mean? Just then, the men sent by Cornelius found Simon's house. Standing outside the gate, they asked if a man named Simon Peter was staying there. Meanwhile, as Peter was puzzling over the vision, the Holy Spirit said to him, 3 men have come looking for you. Get up, go downstairs, and go with them without hesitation. Don't worry, for I have sent them. So Peter went down and said, I'm the man you're looking for. Why have you come? They said, we were sent by Cornelius, a Roman officer. He is a devout and God-fearing man, well respected by all the Jews. A holy angel instructed him to summon you to his house so that he can hear your message. So Peter invited the men to stay for the night. The next day, he went with them, accompanied by some of the brothers from Joppa. And that's where we stop for today, guys. If these videos are helping you, if you get anything from them, guys, please like, share, subscribe. If you have prayer requests, y'all, please just post them in the comments, because I most definitely would love to pray with y'all, for y'all, stand in agreement with y'all for something. Remember, if you want to see a change, you have to be the change. We lead by example. We follow by design. If it's not a God thing, it's not a good thing. And I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Don't forget to love like Jesus. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.